sky. Friday night's calling and the towns go quiet. From Doug Shaw Memorial to John McKissick Field, Carolina football, it's the heart we feel. Pickup trucks line up, tailgates in a row, Hot Stadium's rocking, Abbeville's ready to go. The Sumter Gamecocks charge, Gaffney's standing tall, every small town's dreaming neath the lights of fall. Full quarter Friday, where the heart beats pound, Carolina shuts down every town. From the first snap to the final play, we're living for the glory of a full quarter Friday. Bleachers fill with pride, cheerleaders shout, the band's playing, no one's staying inside. The boys in pads hit hard, chasing that old dream. Under stadium lights, it's more than just a team. Mamas clutch their programs, daddies yell the calls, grandpas talk of legends in these hallowed football halls. From the low country marshes to the upstate's clay, four quarter Friday lights the Carolina way. Four quarter Friday, where the heart beats pound, South Carolina shuts down every town. From the first snap to the final play, we're living for the glory of a four quarter Friday. Shaw's roar to McKissick's sacred ground, Hot Stadium's fire, you can feel the sound. Sumter Gamecocks fly, Gaffney holds a line, J-Mo run the dang ball, we're screaming for a sign. Rivalries burn bright, the clock's ticking down. On four quarter Friday, we're the talk of town. When the whistle blows and the scoreboard fades away, the lessons from the field guide us every day. Teamwork, grit, and pride, it's more than just a score. Carolina football's what we're fighting for. From the PD rivers to the upstate's misty hills, four quarter Friday gives our hearts a thrill. Four quarter Friday, where the heart beats pound, South Carolina shuts down every town. From the first snap to the final play, we're living for the glory of a four quarter Friday. So here's to the Palmetto boys, giving it their all on a four-quarter Friday. South Carolina stands tall.
Welcome to the four-quarter Friday show, Justin. It's a beautiful fall morning, and we have Coach Ozzie Exume from Gilbert Football joining us here in just a second. But first, I wanted to lead off the show just to let everybody know we have a special announcement. The Chiefs Sports Shop is now open and is available on the homepage of the Chiefs Sports app. Quality apparel, including Nike, is available in men's, women's, and youth sizes, different colors, and orders shipped within 2 business days. The Chiefs Shop will be open until November the 19th, so get your jackets, hoodies, shirts, and more today ahead of the holiday rush that we all know is coming. Thank you for supporting the Chiefs Sports Network. and we're going to get into some big time games today. And Justin, welcome. What's got you excited before we bring Coach Oz on here?
Well, it's the penultimate week. I mean, this is the week that we have region games. We have region titles on the line tonight and a couple of different matchups we'll talk about. Then there's games that are setting up for a week 10 or week 11, depending on what you want to look at it, winner take all scenario next week. So there's a ton of those. Mr. Football stuff is going to start getting announced very soon. We got to talk about volleyball today with Lou Bezjak, which I'm excited about. I get to dip our toes in that water. I've got RPI standings if we can have the time to get into that too, because that's going to determine playoff seeds. There's a lot for a late October Friday morning, and glad to get it kicked off here.
Yeah, that's right, Justin. I mean, we're now starting to finally dig into other sports. Yesterday, we were able to have a special episode with Coach Roger Smith talking about girls golf state championships happening next Monday and Tuesday. So if you missed that, go check the Chief Sports app or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or the YouTube channel. But without any more waiting, we're going to bring in Coach Oz. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good, Coach. Glad you could join us. I know I wanted to get you here and talk with you. It's been a while since we had you on the preview show. First of all, full disclosure, your Gilbert Indians play my Airport Eagles tonight. I'm not thrilled about it. I don't know. But I will tell you a little glimpse into private conversation. Coach Oz was very complimentary of our Airport Eagles and that offense that's starting to gel. So, Coach, give us a preview of what to expect tonight down there in Gilbert, America.
Well, just like you just said, Airport playing well. Has grown into some balance. That likes the ball in the air. A young, I think that's going to be good. 13 world they play hard. I think that's the one that from film as you continue to watch them every week is they're continuing. It doesn't matter what the score is, what time of the game.
Oh, we just lost Coach.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him. I'm gonna check and see if I can get him outside of the car. Maybe that'd be it. Maybe there's something in that car that's messing with him. Yeah.
Yeah. As we try to get that kind of situated, let's go down some of the PD games tonight. The Ainer Blue Jackets are 2-6, 0-3 on the year. Hosted Georgetown Bulldogs, 0-8, 0-3 on the year. The Latta Vikings are 6-1, 2-1 on the year. Hannah Pamplico is traveling to Latta. They are 2-5 and 1-3 on the year. Carolina Forest. This is a big game. We'll get into this a little bit later, Justin, but Carolina Forest is 7-1, 3-0 in the region, hosting a big-time matchup with the Myrtle Beach Seahawks, and this is looking like a decider in Week 9 for the region championship. The Myrtle Beach Seahawks, again, are 6-2, 3-0 on the year. Carvers Bay Bears, they're 8-0, 4-0 on the year, hosting Johnsonville. The Flashes, they're 6-1, 3-0, and this will be most likely for the region championship, Justin. Mm-hmm. As we continue through today's episode, we will get into more of those games, but we do have Coach Oz back. Coach Oz, how are we doing? Back?
Good. Not sure what happened.
I've been in Gilbert. The reception's not that bad.
I guess about better football.
Coach, we're getting robot noises again. We don't hear a single word you're saying. We need to get Elon Musk and that Starlink out there ASAP. Yeah. So Amazon Prime, we need to get that going. And in the future, we will have a better plan for Coach Oz. We regrettably waited until the last minute to get him on there. Just we knew he was a big fan of the show, and we're a big fan of the Gilbert Indians. So, Justin, we'll get through the next few games here in the PD. I'm not sure it's going to really work out for Coach Oz. But anyways, we left off with the Carvers Bay Bears hosting the Johnsonville Flashes for the region championship this week. The Dillon Wildcats are 5-3, 2-1 on the year. Host the Waccamaw Warriors. They're 6-2, 2-1. That has big time region implications as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Green Sea Floyd's Trojans 0-8, 0-4 on the year. Host the Hemingway Tigers. Was that?
They need a win. They need a win.
Yes, that's right. The Hartsville Red Foxes, Justin, 5-3, 4-0 in region play.
Mm-hmm.
Host the Lakewood Gators. That game is setting up a big time game next week, Justin. I believe the Hartsville South Florence matchup will happen, which is going to be for the region championship. The Lamar Silver Foxes, 6-2, 3-0, host C.A. Johnson, and the Hornets, 4-4, 2-1 on the year. We got the Loris Lions, 8-0, 3-0 in region play. Marlboro County, the Bulldogs, are going to travel there. They're 6-2, 2-1 on the region. And the Lions will earn the number 1 seed out of Region 5 and 3A with a win over Marlboro County, thanks to potential tiebreakers. It wouldn't even matter if Loris fell. However, the Bulldogs could force a potential 3-way tie for the region if they win by pulling off the upset. So let's see. Justin, holler at me if Coach Oz joins us. Let's see if we can try one more time to get him in here. Hey, Coach, let's try one more time.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got crystal clear video and hear you. That's great.
Good. Perfect. No, I had to move into the parking lot far away from schools.
There's something going on. Maybe it's the ghost of Chad Leapart saying, "No, I don't want you to talk about this game. I don't talk about the game. Just go play. Go coach." So really quick, we'll have you for a few minutes here, Coach. That airport team that's coming in tonight they've got a quarterback, a freshman quarterback who can sling around a little bit. What are you guys expecting tonight in comparison to the games you've had against Midland Valley and others who like to run that ball?
Well, I think it's a good test for our defense. I think our defense is really good. And so I think it's important that, we play some different teams. We played, an Aiken team that ran a wing team like, offense. And then you got Midland Valley and South Aiken and BC that's more spread-like. And North Augusta spread-like. But now it's like this this radical spread in terms of the air raid and be able to throw it. It's just a good test for our group. And I think that's all we care about here is just approaching that next challenge. So this will be fun. The good and bad about throwing the ball a lot. The good is, chance.
Second, but I got one last question before we got to let you go and get to the next few games here. How's the health of the team? I know at the beginning of the year you were pretty banged up. How's that coming along for your football program this time of year?
Well, we had 2 guys that go down the Midland Valley game, 2 all-region players. They're getting healthy. They will be back maybe this week, maybe next week. But it's been from that standpoint, it's been a tough year. It's been a year that we've had some injuries and some injuries to key pieces. But at the end of the day, I've told our team this all year long. Nobody cares that we got guys hurt. Like the teams that we're playing does not care. So we got to do a great job of prepping guys to play on a Friday. Maybe cross training some guys, but we're trending upwards in health, but we are just not perfectly healthy.
Hey, like Ray Sanders, right?
And no doubt about that. Coach,
Thanks for joining us.
Coach, we appreciate it. Thanks, man. Again, take it easy on my Eagles tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
That was Coach Oz with the Gilbert Indian football program, and we really appreciate his friendship to the show and being willing to jump on. Next time, me and Justin will have a better execution strategy for him to make sure he gets a good chance.
In studio with me is probably going to be the best bet for him. So put him on my Wi-Fi network, and maybe we'll have a better
pre-recorded.
shot
Pre-recorded. Yeah, exactly. Before we hit a quick break, we're going to go down the rest of the games in the PD, and then we'll make a few more notes, Justin, hopefully before the commercial break. But the Manning Monarchs, they're 5-3, 3-1 on the year, hosting the Marion Swamp Foxes. They're 0-7, 0-3 in the year. They need a win. The Mullins Auctioneers are 2-5, 1-3 on the season, playing the Kingstree Blazers. They're hosting that in Mullins tonight. 3-5 and 2-2 in the year are the Kingstree Blazers. The Tigers of Conway, they're 2-6, 1-2 in region play, traveling to Socastee to play the Braves. They're 1-7, 0-3 in the year in region play. And then the Westwood Redhawks, 6-2, 3-1 on the region play, are traveling to the West Florence Knights. They're 3-5, 2-2 in the year. Justin, do you have any quick notes for some of these games before we get to the first break?
Well, I'll tell you, the big thing here is you're looking at a Sumter Ridgeview game that we'll get into later, but Westwood is still kind of hanging around and trying to get good playoff positioning and some good seeding. I want to go back to the Myrtle Beach and Carolina Forest really quickly. Myrtle Beach is only outscoring opponents by 10 overall this entire season, 269 to 259. Meanwhile, Carolina Forest has hung 339 on the board this year, and they've only allowed 143. Obviously, they're playing at home. This game is for the region. I mean, there's no chance that anyone else sneaks in here. This is it. Some of these games you might get a sneak and a tiebreaker. Who knows what happens? No, this one's for the region. And it's a pretty astounding thing what the Panthers have been able to do this year. A very quiet 7-1, in my opinion, is Carolina Forest. And if I look just right over here at my standings, they're not ranked. They're not ranked in the media poll. So if Carolina Forest, the most important thing about this tonight is if Carolina Forest is able to use that offensive game plan, get a win tonight, it sets them up for, at the minimum, a home playoff game in week 1. If they're able to sneak their way into the RPI up into that top 4, they get a bye and really start cooking as well. So a game in the Low Country or in the PD, that you're really going to want to watch is that game between Myrtle Beach and Carolina Forest. That could be a really fun one tonight around 9 or 9:15 as we get to about the third quarter.
All right, we'll be right back after this quick break.
Football season. The Barn Dominium Company wants to help you build your dream home with your dream space to watch the games and entertain your friends and family. Make your dream a reality. Visit thebarndominiumco.com. That's thebarndominiumco.com for floor plans, photo galleries, locations, and to learn more about us.
Oh man, the building is on fire.
Emergencies and accidents happen. When you're in the middle of a fire or water event, all you want is for things to return to normal as soon as possible. Resto Pros of the Midlands is with you, guiding you through the process and working with you to get your home or office back in working order. They'll answer your questions, discuss procedures, and can act as your advocate when it comes to processing your insurance claim. RestoProsMidlandsSC.com. Open 24/7 when you need them. Quality that is guaranteed.
When playing sports, you want a coach that will fight for you. At Hewitt Diamaduros Law Firm, we've got your back. Whether it's personal injury, insurance disputes, negligence, or wrongful death, our team delivers exceptional legal services that makes meaningful difference in the lives of the individuals and families we work for. Visit hdlawsc.com. hdlawsc.com. Hewitt Diamaduros, we're on your team.
Check the statewide high school scoreboard every Friday night on the Chief Sports app.
This is Four Quarter Friday, hosted by Justin Hall and Steve Hall, taking a deep dive into high school athletics in South Carolina every Friday morning. Part of the Chief Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Four Quarter Friday show. We have Lou Bazak with the state newspaper joining us. Lou, welcome. Thanks for coming on again. And hopefully I didn't just mispronounce your last name. Oh, Lou, I think
muted. He's muted.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah, Bazak. Yep. Good.
Uncle Lou. It makes it much easier.
There we go.
Lou, I want to start off, first of all, with asking you about this game between Sumter and Ridgeview. I don't know what game you're going to be at tonight, by the way.
That's the one.
That's the one. So great minds. Obviously, winner wins the region. You do a great job in your write-up at the state newspaper. You guys need to go to subscribe and support local journalism. You're welcome. Ridgeview's last region win, you put this out there in your game previews, 2007.
Yeah, region championship. They made some few deep playoff runs, but region, for whatever reason, they haven't won it since then. So it's been a while, and I think coming in this season, everyone thought this team could contend, but then Trey Howard gets hurt, Christian Jackson goes down for a little bit, and you didn't know, but they played really well after that start, after that second loss of the season, the Dutch Fork. They haven't lost since, and the defense is playing really well. Quarterback play, they kind of made a change last week. We'll see if Bijan Virgo gets a start again tonight over Ashton Chapman, but they're running the ball really well with Spencer Bobain, and that defense is pretty stout, and will have their hands full tonight with a powerful Sumter running attack.
And how much credit do you give this Ridgeview Blazers team? I mean, that second loss against Dutch Fork, that was the TV game, I believe, in the Midlands. And honestly, they probably could have nipped Dutch Fork that night if a couple things break their way there late in that ball game. What does it say about this team's resilience? They find themselves on the doorstep of winning their first region title in almost 2 decades, given all the
great job of staying. I mean, you look at their 2 losses. I mean, they're Dutch Fork and Northwestern, number 2 and number 3 ranked teams in the state. And that just showed that they compete. And the Northwestern game was a 1-score game as well. So I think
we're muted
that
again.
gave them confidence that they could play with the top teams. And they're still, if they win, and there's a chance, if Dutch Fork would lose next week, there's a chance they could be the number 1 overall seed in the upper state playoffs and get that home field advantage in that bracket.
Lou, you already mentioned Spencer and their defense. I was there when they played Camden earlier this season, and I saw a lot of the team speed they had all over. But I also noticed they had not only Spencer, but 2 other running backs, one being more of a power back. And then as far as the matchup goes tonight versus Sumter, how do you see how these 2 teams match up against each other? Is it basically just going to be – yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Aiden Keefe, I think, is the other guy who runs the ball pretty well. I think it's just going to be Ridgeview's chance. They're going to have to make Sumter one-dimensional, stop that run. I mean, it's easier said than done. I mean, Sumter ran for like 559 yards against Blythewood last week. They had 2 guys over 200 yards. They're running. The quarterback's their best rusher as well. So if they can make them one-dimensional or get a lead early and make Sumter come from behind, that's where the Gamecocks struggle, because they're not known for their passing, and you get a big lead, and especially with passing is going to be tough against Ridgeview anyway with those 2 corners and Jordan Best and Quincy Guest. So they it's that's what you're going to do. You got to win the line of scrimmage tonight, and Ridgeview take a lot of time, ball control with Bobain, the passing game. You got Christian Jackson, you got Carter Coleman, you got weapons there. So yeah, I think that's the game plan tonight.
Lou, we also have you on because this show is not just a high school football show. And I think that's what makes this show stand out and different from the rest, is we want to talk about every single high school sport that there is. And if we miss one at some point, if there's a darts team, you just let me know. But volleyball playoffs are getting started. I know JB mentioned it on the show yesterday about the fact that Lower Richland didn't have a bus to head down to Bishop England and didn't get down there until about 30 minutes after start of scheduled game time. So you had a write up in the state newspaper about the volleyball playoffs that are coming up. Kind of give some folks an idea about who aren't familiar with high school volleyball in this state, kind of where your eyes are when it comes to some Midlands teams and maybe even out of the footprint.
Yeah, Midlands teams. I think you look at River Bluff. They won the region championship. They're a number one seed in the lower state, and they had a bye in that first round. And I think, they're number 2 seed. Sorry, behind Wando. And that's I think those two teams. You may end up that might be the lower state final there. I think you look in 2A. I think North Central, the defending state champs, are the team to watch there. Andy Johnson does a heck of a job. I think he's got his 501st win. They've done well. They came close a couple years ago, and then winning it all last year was a good milestone because I think it was only the second team championship in school history. So that was pretty special. I think you're going to have to watch them. Dorman's always good. You look at the Dormans and the Wandos as far as the higher classification, and Dorman's in the upper state, and they also had a bye. They're the number 1 seed, and you throw in Boiling Springs and Blythewood also in that upper state. 4A, you look at Pickens, pretty good. I mean, they're the number 1 seed there in upper state. Great Collegiate's also a team to watch. Shonda Wallace, who's the wife of former Gamecock Brandon Wallace. She's done a great job there, and they have a chance to have their deepest run, I think, in the postseason as well.
Lou, as far as the volleyball playoffs go, for any of our listeners, even for me, like I'm not super in tune with the formats and where they play the state championship games. When are the state championships, if you have that offhand? And then are they hosted at a neutral site, or are they usually hosted by the highest seed?
Well, in the playoffs, yeah, but then the championships are at Dreher High School, which they have been for a few years, and that's November 6th. I think there's one on the 6th and the rest on the 8th. I forgot to mention there's boys volleyball also going on. That will go a week earlier. That will be next Saturday. Obviously, there's 3 divisions there. Not too many Midlands teams there, but that wrap up. I think that's the second season. It's recognized as a championship. I think they had year before you were able to win, but now it's an official sport. So that'll be the week before at AC Flora High School. So yeah, you got those 2 things going on, and you throw in tennis, which would be the week after at Casey. So it's definitely a busy season playoff wise, and throwing the golf state championships next Monday and Tuesday around the state as well.
And swimming just wrapped up a couple of weeks ago
swimming,
too.
yep.
So swimming wrapped up there as well. I want to circle back really quick to football before we get you out of here, Lou. A game, it could be in the footprint of the Midlands, it could be outside of the Midlands. A game that you've got your eye on. Maybe you didn't highlight it, but a game you got your eye on that could catch some people's attention tonight.
I think Dorman Gaffney. That's the game that's definitely seeding wise, especially in we talked about you got Dutch Fork, Dorman, and Ridgeview all battling for that number 1 overall seed in the upper state. I think that's going to be a huge game region wise, and then Gaffney's in the Division II playoffs, so not for seeding purposes, but yeah, that's going to be a phenomenal game as well. I think that's going to be pretty special. I think Saluda Strom Thurman. Saluda coming off that tough loss last week to 96, and still have a chance to region. That region's pretty tight, so I look forward to that game tonight as well.
Lou Bijak from the state newspaper, appreciate you. I know you were on with Elijah and Preston a few minutes ago, and now you're on with us, and now you got a full day. Get ready for Ridgeview and Sumter, and then I'll talk to you tonight, my friend.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Lou.
Thanks, Lou.
So, yeah, last week when I decided last minute to go to the Irmo and White Knoll game, I saw Lou on the sideline, and then saw one of your cohorts for 107.5 The Game, and Savage covering it too.
Yep.
And I was like, I have a pretty easy job tonight. I can just watch this. You probably noticed that I didn't put out a whole lot of posts on Twitter, and I was just like, I'm just going to watch it. These guys have this thing covered
Oh yeah.
to its completion, and so I was thinking about actually making the trip over to Sumter tonight, but Lou's got me covered. So I might have to make it to a different game that isn't getting as much coverage, and that's what we're trying to do with this show.
Right.
Justin, before we get to our next break, let's go down some of the Midlands games. We have the Aiken Fighting Green Hornets. They're 2-6, 1-4 on the year, hosting the Great Collegiate War Eagles, who are 5-0 in region, 6-2 on the year. Then we have the Capitals of Columbia. They're 3-5, 0-2 on the year, hosting the Eau Claire Shamrocks, who are 0-2 in region, 4-4 on the year. We have the North Augusta Yellow Jackets coming up to Brook and Casey, not too far away from your alma mater, Justin, to play over there in that beautiful stadium of theirs. I can't remember how old it is. It's fairly new, but they're 2-6, 2-3 in the year, and they are having some improvement as they get through this season. And doing a good job, I have to say. Lancaster Bruins, they're 2-6, 2-2 on the year, traveling to Camden to play the Bulldogs in Zemp Stadium. They're 3-1 in region. Irmo, 8-0, 3-0 in region, traveling to Chapin, who are 0-8, 0-3 in the region. And next week will be a absolute massive game, and I can't imagine that not all the media outlets will be there as well. The Falcons of Darlington, the You're My Hour Darlington Falcons, 3-5 on the year, 1-3 in region play, traveling to Crestwood, who are 4-4 and 1-2 in region. Big time game tonight in Sumter for playoff implications. Justin, we have some notes on this game. The Gators of River Bluff, they're 4-4 on the year, 1-2 in the region, traveling to play the Dutch Fork Silver Foxes, who are 6-1 and 3-0 in region play.
And Julian Walker is still being talked about with the Gamecocks. So that's just keep your eye on that one. Dutch Fork's never lost to River Bluff. 10-0. 10-0 against the Gators. And not only are they undefeated, but they've scored at least 40 in every single game against River Bluff. Stone Fury leads the team with 25 catches for over 500 yards, 3 touchdowns. Julian Walker and Jaden Worth for Dutch Fork have combined for 21 tackles and 14 sacks, and Dutch Fork is averaging 40.6 points per game this season. Taylor Davis made his first start at quarterback last week for River Bluff for Coach Perry Parks in his first season. But a stat to watch tonight and a milestone to watch is River Bluff running back Hayden Myers needs 13 yards to get to 1,000 this season. So kudos to him for a great year running the football in that Parks offense.
Justin, we got another game coming up here that you have some notes on. The Newberry Bulldogs, who are undefeated on the year, are traveling to Keenan to play the Keenan Raiders. They're 3-6, 1-2 in the year. I believe they have a quarterback transfer that is now eligible to play for the next 2 games. I think his first game was maybe last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Cam McMillan came from South Point. Of course, he lost out on that job to Jazavian Currents. But he transferred over to Keenan. He's not eligible to play in the playoffs should they get there. And last week, he threw for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. They got a win over Fox Creek last week. So Fox Creek and Swansea are playing tonight. We'll talk about that one in a second. They're both coming off of losses. But this Newberry team's really good. Kenton Caldwell, 34 total touchdowns. He just needs 69 yards rushing to get to 1,000 this season. Jameer Cooks has 40 catches for 614 yards, 9 touchdowns for Newberry. Yeah, Newberry's really good. Keenan's not as good as Newberry. And so this is a game that I don't necessarily believe is one that Keenan can come up and get them. But I said the same thing about 96 and Saluda last week. So who's to say what happens tonight on the football field?
Well, if you're betting on the high school football,
Chauncey Billups is calling you as well as the number. So just
exactly.
Keep that in mind.
Exactly. The Timberwolves of White Knoll, they're 5-3, 1-2 on the year, playing the Lexington Wildcats, my alma mater, at Wildcat Hollow. or the new Wildcat Hollow, as I like to say. The Lexington Wildcats are 3-5 on the year and 1-2 on the year. The South Florence Bruins is the next game we have notes on, Justin. They're 7-1, 4-0 in region play, traveling to Hopkins tonight to play the Lower Richland Diamond Hornets, who are 6-3 and 3-2 in region play.
So South Florence leads the all-time series 6-1. Lower Richland's a good football team this year. The Diamond Hornets are a solid football team. But I like Messiah Jackson a lot. I like South Florence a lot. And what I really like is a winner-take-all game between South Florence and Hartsville. I'm not rooting for anybody in this game. Please understand me. Coach Marlon Taylor, if you're listening, I'm not rooting against you, my friend. I would like to see a winner-take-all game next week between Hartsville and South Florence, if you want me to be honest. But South Florence has got to get through this Lower Richland team because Lower Richland has won 6 games in a season for the first time since 2022. And it's I don't want to call it a renaissance year, but you're seeing a lot of teams, especially in Richland County, that are actually playing a lot better than they have been in recent years. You look at Eau Claire, you look at C.A. Johnson, you look at Columbia, you look at Lower Richland, Westwood, same thing. You got a lot of teams in that county playing a lot better football this year, and you're going on the road. That's a long road trip from South Florence down to Hopkins. If you got to go 20, and then you got to connect to 77, you got to come down 77 almost to its end. So you got a bona fide trip here, and you're going to see how South Florence travels. They're well done. They're doing it well. They're only going to play 3 home games all season. So I like South Florence in this one, mainly because of the quarterback play. But don't sleep on the Diamond Hornets tonight. Should that game get a little sideways.
As we've seen multiple times this season, you just never know what's going to happen under the lights on a Friday night in South Carolina. Next up, we have the Vikings of Spring Valley. They're 2-6, 0-4 in region play, traveling to Lugoff, Elgin to play the Demons, who are 4-5 and 1-4 in the year. And then we have the South Aiken Thoroughbreds. They're 4-4, 2-3 in the region, traveling to play the Midland Valley Mustangs, who are 6-2, 3-2 on the year. These two teams don't like each other. It'll be interesting to see what happens. South Aiken's got a pretty tough schedule, especially in non-region play, and so they look to be improving each week as well. The Wilson Elko Blue Devils, 0-8, 0-3 in the region, traveling to Wagner to play the Wagner Sally War Eagles, who are 3-5, 1-2 in the region. And then the Batesburg Leesville Panthers, 5-3, 2-1 on the year, traveling to Pillion to play the Panthers. They're 4-4, 1-2 in region. And we had someone comment earlier, I think it was Chris. Let's see if I can bring this up. But Amadre Wooden is about 205 yards away from the school rushing record.
Yes.
And earlier in this year, before I go to the Pillion, I want to say it was Pillion, or excuse me, it was the Batesburg Leesville, and I was there for 2 games this year. It might have been the Strom Thurmond game, but he was like 1,000 yards away. I mean, he is racking these yards up, Justin.
Yeah, he has he's 205 yards shy of breaking the all-time record, and it's held by his uncle, Terrence Wilson, at 46.92. Amadre has rushed for more than 200 yards in each of his last 5 games and has accrued 1,157 yards in a 5-game span.
Good night.
Amadre Wooden is really good. Good.
Yeah. And he's a big dude, too. I mean, he's got to be, I don't know his official, height and weight, but he looks to be about 6'1", 215. He's just a load. Justin, any more notes on this game before we move on to the next one?
That was my note.
All right.
My
great.
note was Amadre Wooden.
All right. Chris and you are on the same page, that's for sure. The Saints of Calhoun County, they're 1-7, 1-2 in region play, traveling to Ridge Spring to play a big time region game. This is a playoff positioning type game. Ridge Spring Monetta is 3-5, 1-2 on the year in region play. Another big one, which we've already hit on, the Tigers of Saluda. They're 5-3, 2-1 on the year. Had a surprising loss last week against 96, traveling to the Strom Thurmond Rebels, who are 6-2, 3-0 on the year. I had a chance to see them earlier this year. They are something to be contending with as we look toward the playoff positioning and as the playoffs kind of unfold. Justin, you have some notes on this one as well.
Saluda and Strom Thurmond, yes. There's an opportunity here. Saluta's won 2 of the last 3, even though how about this stat for you? Strom Thurmond leads the all-time series 43-15-3. So there are 3 ties. I don't expect 3 ties tonight. Tristan Daniels is 26 yards shy of 1,000 yards as well, rushing for the Tigers of Saluda. Saluda needs a bounce-back win, but hard to get a bounce-back win when you got to go down to Johnston, take on the Rebels of Strom Thurmond. That's not a place where you're licking your wounds and trying to get things right here heading down the stretch of the season. So I like what the Rebels are doing offensively here, and I like Strom Thurmond to hand Saluda another loss to drop him to 5-4.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Saluda, from a physical standpoint, just looks a lot bigger up front, and even out on the edges. Caleb Simpson is going to be something to deal with on the outside. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight over there in Edgefield County. We talked about the Blazers from Ridgeview traveling to Sumter already, Justin. The last game we need to speak about is the Predators of Fox Creek. They're 5-3, 0-2 on the season, 0-2 in region play, and traveling to Swansea to play the Tigers, who are 6-1, 1-1 in the year. And when we come back from the break, we're going to hit the upstate on the next quarter of the 4-quarter Friday show.
Palm Casual Outdoor Patio Furniture proudly supports high school athletics across South Carolina. If it's time to make your outdoor space the best it can be, with lifetime warranties and guarantees, visit one of our Palm Casual stores in Myrtle Beach, Bluffton, Somerville, or Mount Pleasant. PalmCasual.com. PalmCasual.com. Turn on the lights. It's Friday night.
At Moultrie Insurance, our agents are working for you. Our commercial lines of coverage are well sourced and intimately chosen. We offer commercial lines of coverage such as business owners, umbrella, property, auto, or general liability coverage, and evaluate every option to find what fits you best. Like a good offensive coordinator, we will draw up the plays, but only run with what you feel comfortable. Get in touch with our quarterback, Perry Orth, or our head coach, Frank, by visiting MoultrieINS.com. MoultrieINS.com.
Welcome back to 4-Quarter Friday, part of the Chief Sports Network. Let's talk ball.
Welcome to the 3rd quarter of the 4-Quarter Friday show. It is a beautiful fall Friday, and we have more games to get into. But before we do, I just want to remind you to download the Chief Sports Network app in the Google Play or Apple App Store. You can find scores there. You can find all the recordings of all the shows on the Chief Sports Network. Tailgate Talks with Stephen Garcia and Pat Namargo. We had the Gamecock preview show that happens every Friday. That's coming up right after this. We have SEC Sunday Night with Rob Williams. He has a great show as well. And I'm sure this episode that's coming up on Sunday is going to be really interesting, because I saw Rob made an interesting note about SEC officials finally getting held accountable for something. I mean, hell must have froze over, Justin, but it finally happened.
I mean, I'm still interested that we're running with that story from Yellowhammer. I mean, of all, it's an anonymous source from Yellowhammer, and we're just rolling with it. So I want to see if Mr. Ken Williamson is actually officiating a game this weekend.
Let's be positive. Let's hope that it's actually true. Anyways, as we get into the upstate games, Justin, let's go ahead and hit the first game of the week in this region
Yeah.
or in this quarter. Let's go and talk about the Gaffney Indians, who are 6-2, 5-0 on the year. We were wondering, like, early in the season, like, what's going on with Gaffney? They're fine, by the way. And they're going to Dorman, who are 6-2,
Yeah.
4-1 on the year. What do you have for this one?
Well, Dorman won this game last year 9-7. In a weird year for Dorman, they were able to nip Gaffney. Gaffney never plays a normal season or a normal game, so that makes perfect sense. No, Gaffney's turned it around. They were 1-2. Everyone's looking around going, "What's happened to Gaffney? What's going on up there on the reservation?" Well, they figured it out, but Dorman's got an opportunity. I would say they let one slip by a couple of weeks ago against Spartanburg on a last-second field goal by Love to get a win there, a 51-yard field goal. So that's the only thing nipping them right now. Otherwise, this will be outright for the region title tonight without any question. There are some questions here. I like Dorman defensively a lot, and I like what they're doing on the ground as well. And they got this one at home. You're not on the reservation. Gaffney has to come to you, and you got an opportunity to win the region. And I put a slight question mark on there. I'm Ron Burgundy because technically Spartanburg is still in this thing. And Spartanburg with a win tonight, let's say Dorman and Spartanburg win tonight, you got 3 teams sitting there 5-1. And now we go into RPI and we go into tiebreakers and we go into all the rest. So let me just really quickly, most of these are going to be determined by RPI. So I can tell you coming into tonight, again, this won't matter for Gaffney, as Lou mentioned earlier. Gaffney's in Division 2 of 5A, but Dorman and Spartanburg are in Division 1 of 5A, both of them obviously in the upper state. Dorman is 3rd in RPI right now, behind Dutch Fork and Ridgeview. Spartanburg is right behind them at number 4. So if you're just looking at RPI ratings, again, the RPI is based, it's the Max Preps RPI. So 40% is your winning percentage, 30% is your opponent's winning percentage, and the last 30% is the opponent's winning percentage. Do with that what you will in your own brain. But Spartanburg is at 0.59. Dorman is at 0.63. Would be greatly influenced by tonight, by the way, because Dorman's got Gaffney and Spartanburg has Burns, who is taking a dip this season late in the year. So something to keep an eye on there. I like Dorman tonight over Gaffney, and as they try to clinch a region win after a region title after a very difficult 2024.
Well, and the Cavaliers are not looking to drop another home loss this year, I'm sure, after that massive upset. And maybe not that big of an upset, Justin, but Greenwood, handed them the only loss on their home field. So I'm sure they're looking to avoid that this week. Now, with the rest of them, we got Mid-Carolina Rebels. They actually played last night. We have a note here against Chester. They traveled to Chester. Justin, do you have a result from that?
I haven't seen one. I'm looking for it now as we continue. If I can get that, I'll update.
Yeah. We have the Hornets of Dixie. They're 6-2, 2-1 in region, traveling to Abbeville to play the Panthers, who are 6-2, 3-0 in region play. The Bulldogs of Pendleton, 5-3, 2-0 in region play, traveling to BHP for a massive region game to play the Bears, who are undefeated on the year. The Travelers Rest Devil Dogs are 2-6, 0-4 on the year, traveling to Berea to play the 1-7 and winless region schedule to play the Bulldogs. The Clinton Red Devils, 6-3, 3-0 in region, traveling to Blacksburg to play. We don't have the mascot in there, but I can't remember the Blacksburg mascot right now, but they're 1-7 and 1-1 in region play. The Lions of Daniel, 7-1, 4-0 in region play, traveling to play the Tigers of Blue Ridge. The Braves of Sherall, 4-4 on the year, 1-2 in region play, traveling to Beaufort.
Yes.
Who are 5 and 0-3. I still think, is there a better way of saying that? Are we even saying it the way that Beaufort residents say it? I'm not sure.
Well, I try to make sure with my southern accent that I keep it separate from Beaufort.
Yeah.
Because if I say Beaufort, it might sound like Beaufort. So
right.
that's why I try to enunciate on the Ford. So it might not
I
be
hear
as
it.
as the locals say it, but I'm trying to be good radio, and
Yeah,
make
we're
sure
an
people
informational
understand.
show. We
Yeah,
we can't be confusing people.
yeah, exactly. By the way, the Wildcats of Blacksburg.
Thank you.
And also,
Good.
Mid Carolina did not play last night. The South Carolina High School League schedule is incorrect. That
Oh,
game is
okay.
tonight
That game's
between
tonight.
Chester and Mid Carolina. Yes.
Ware Shoals has got a big game this week. They're 8-0, 3-0 on the region schedule, traveling to Calhoun Falls. The Bearcats of Rock Hill, 5-4 on the season, 3-2 in region play, traveling to play the Copperheads of Catawba Ridge. The Chesterfield Rams, 4-4 in the year, 1-2 in region play, traveling to Central to play the Tigers, who are 6-1 and 2-1 in region. And then the Tigers of Crescent are traveling to Chesney to play the 4-4 Eagles, who are 1-2 in region play. The Falcons of Nation Forward, the Fighting Jake Bentleys, as Justin likes to say, is 4-4 in region, 1-3 on the year, traveling to Clover. The Eagles are 4-4 and 1-3 in region play. The Generals of Wade Hampton, 0-8, are winless so far, Justin, traveling to play the Eastside Eagles, who are 3-5 but winless in the region. The Fury of Fountain Inn, 4-4 on the season, 1-2 in region play, traveling to Emerald to play the Vikings, who have the same exact record. The Indian Land Warriors, who are 8-0, 4-0 in region, traveling to play Fort Mill, and the Yellow Jackets, who started off hot but have since cooled off and are 0-4 in region play. Indian Land sets up a region title game against Northwestern next week. That's going to be for all the marbles, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more notes on that game?
Well, I'll tell you this: Indian Land finally stood on a table. They need to be ranked, and they are. Congratulations, they're number 9. Guess we decided they're good enough to be 9th. Big win over Clover last week. I didn't see it coming in terms of that margin for the Warriors. So good win for Indian Land last week, and obviously setting up that game next week against Northwestern. They got to get through Fort Mill tonight. But don't put the cart before the horse. Sequel Patterson, their best player, arguably, maybe not arguably at all, is visiting South Carolina as a part of a cavalcade of 5 stars and 4 stars on campus for that game against the Crimson Tide tomorrow afternoon. So
I
look
believe
for him to have a
Patterson's
big
already
night.
committed as well, right?
He is committed, and I asked Hale about that yesterday on Inside the Gamecocks, on the morning show with Jamie Bradford, on there with him on Thursday mornings. Asked Hale about that. I said, what is the sentiment from guys like Tristan Lewis, from Sequel Patterson, from others who are committed already, in-state talents who are committed? What's the vibe you're getting from them? And he said quite plainly, I haven't heard anything negative. He said that doesn't mean there's not out there, but I haven't heard any sort of discontent. Losses continue to come, you might see a different story. But for right now, you've got significant, talented stars in the state who are committed to playing for your program. And by committed, I mean truly committed to turning this thing around.
Well, that's good to hear, because it's not going to get any easier this Saturday. The Stars of Mountain View Prep are 7-1, 2-1 in the region, traveling to play Broome and the Centurions. They were 4-4, 1-1 in region play. The Lions of Louisville, they're 5-3, undefeated in region play, going to play the winless region. The Red Devils of Great Falls have not won a region game just yet. The Patriots of Jail Man, who are 1-7, 1-4 in the region, traveling to Greenwood to play the Eagles, who are 7-1 and 4-1 in region play. The Red Raiders of Greenville are 6-2, 4-1 in region play, traveling to play the Hillcrest Rams, who are 5-3, 3-2 on the year, inside their region, and that could be an upset to look out for. We will see. One of the last games we have highlighted in this region, Justin, is the Vikings of Spartanburg. Real quickly, they're playing the Rebels of Burns at Burns. Real quickly, give me what you have on this one.
Well, if you're Burns, you need Trace Cigar to have a big night. I don't think there's any question about that. You need to be able to hang on to the football. You need to limit your turnovers against this Spartanburg team that's playing really well this season. Again, Spartanburg still having their eyes set on a potential region title, even as that start to the season was kind of clunky and it took them a while to get going. Well, they're rolling now, sitting there at 4-1 in the region. So again, all of this is for playoff positioning over these last 2 weeks. Both of these teams are going to the playoffs. But for Spartanburg, they got a little bit of a bigger mindset right now, trying to win and keep themselves alive for a region title.
Well, we got an 8-minute drill we're going to do here, Justin. We got one more break to get to as well. So we're going to go through this rest of this massive upstate slate without all the schedules in there, because we got to. The Red Devils of Liberty are traveling to Landrum to play the Cardinals. The Wildcats of Woodmont are traveling to Malden to play the Mavericks. Whitmire is traveling to McCormick to play the Bulldogs. The Andrew Jackson Volunteers are traveling to North Central. St. Joseph's Catholic School is traveling to Palmetto to play the Mustangs. Seneca Wildcats are traveling to Pickens to play the Blue Flame. Tigers of Carolina are playing Powdersville tonight in Powdersville. Bowling Springs Bulldogs are traveling to the Riverside Warriors. The Blue Devils of Dreer are playing South Point tonight. Christ Church Episcopal are traveling to Southside Christian. South Side, 0-8, is hosting the Wren Golden Hurricanes. TL Hanna Yellow Jackets are going to host the Easley Green Wave. The West Oak Warriors are hosting Walhalla. West Side Rams are hosting the Lauren Raiders. Woodruff Wolverines are 7-1, 2-0 in the region, hosting the Chapman Panthers, and York is hosting the Richland Northeast Cavaliers. After this quick break, we'll get to the Low Country, which has some massive games. See you on the next side.
It's the 4-Quarter Friday High School Show on the Chief Sports Network. Proudly covering high school athletics across the state of South Carolina. With accurate, trusted analysis, in-depth interviews with coaches, media, and players, and quality information. Hosted by Justin Hall and Steve Hall. Now back to the show. Here's Justin and Steve.
Morning, Carl. Usual?
Yeah.
Your oldest was in here the other day. Said the two of you took a trip down to my neck of the woods. How'd that go?
You might as well give me one of those Carolina cars while you're at it.
I knew I liked that one.
Yeah.
There you go, my friend.
Thanks.
Hey, Carl. Congratulations.
See you tomorrow, Freddie.
You bet.
Welcome to Dry Space Crawl Space Solutions. Basement crawl space encapsulation designed for your specific needs. Your crawl space can be susceptible to all sorts of issues, including moisture buildup, mold growth, and structural damage if not cared for properly. Let our trained experts provide basement crawl space encapsulation solutions to protect your home, improve air quality, and enhance energy efficiency. Schedule your consultation today for a safer, healthier space at dryspacecs.com.
Do your wood floors need a touch-up? Visit recoatrevolution.com in South Carolina today.
Welcome back to the 4-Quarter Friday show. Justin, we're going to lead right into this game. The Ashley Ridge Swamp Foxes, coming off a massive victory against Summerville, are traveling to James Island to play the Trojans, who are 7-1, 2-1 in the region. This game has massive region championship implications.
It does. Ashley Ridge had, if not for 96 beating Saluda, would have had the upset of the night over Summerville last week. Summerville was coming off of a win against James Island. We said it was a 2-week season for them at that point. And they won one over James Island in the rain, dropped the next one to Ashley Ridge. And Ashley Ridge has an opportunity to win the region tonight. Now, should James Island get the win, you're looking at an interesting situation where they're probably going to win the tiebreakers and the RPIs and things of that sort. Ryan Campbell, running back for Ashley Ridge, is someone to keep an eye on because Ashley Ridge is running the ball for 285 yards per game right now. So both of these teams are averaging over 34 points per game offensively. Should be a fun one down there at James Island.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We have also three other big time games this Friday night. The Phillips Simmons Iron Horses are 6-2, 3-0 in region, hosting the Timberland Wolves. This game is likely for the region championship, but who knows what happens if there is an upset tonight. The Hunter Connor Tyler Trojans are traveling to Blackville Hilda. That game is for the winner of the region. And then the Stags of Berkeley, who are 6-2, 2-1 in the region play, Justin, are hosting the Lucy Beckham Bengals, who are 5-2, 2-1 in region. Big for playoff seeding. Stratford's most likely the region champ, but we will see. Justin, the Andrews Yellow Jackets, they're 3-5, 2-1 in region. The Bulldogs of Burke are 1-6, 0-3 in region. They are being hosted by Andrews. The Tigers of Allendale Fairfax are traveling to Bamberg Earhart Red Raiders, who are undefeated on the year. The Scotch Branch team, they are 6-2, 3-1 on the year, traveling to Baptist Hill. The Bruins of Orangeburg Wilkinson's 8-0, 2-0 in region, traveling to Battery Creek to play the Dolphins. The Sharks of May River are traveling to Beaufort to play the Eagles. They're 3-5. The Trojans, who are undefeated in region, play 7-1 in the year, a big-time contender for the 1A state championship, traveling to Bethune-Bowman to play the Mohawks. The Battling Bishops of Bishop England are 6-2, 1-2 in region play, traveling to the Bluffton Bobcats for a big region match. East Clarendon is 7-1, 3-1 in region play, going to play the Armada of Atlantic Collegiate. The Goose Creek Gators are 0-8, 0-3 in region play, traveling to Cane Bay, who are 2-6 and 1-2 in the region. The Hawks of Hanahan are 3-5, 0-2 in region play, traveling to North Charleston to play the Cougars, who are 5-3. The Hilton Head Seahawks, 3-0 in region play, 7-1 on the year, traveling to Colleton County to play the Cougars. The Warriors of Stall, 1-7, traveling to Fort Dorchester, that is, 3-5, 1-2 in region play. The Warriors of Whale Branch are 3-5 and traveling to Hampton County to play the undefeated region Hurricanes. They're undefeated in region play. The Military Magnet is traveling to St. John's to play the Islanders. Somebody's getting to get their first victory tonight. The Knights of Stratford are 7-1, 3-0 in region. They're traveling to Wando to play the Fighting Jamie Bradfords, 4-4 and 1-2 in the region play. The Green Wave of Somerville, 6-2, 2-1 in region play, are traveling to West Ashley to play the Wildcats. The Raptors of Academic Magnet are traveling to Woodland to play the Wolverines. And the Warhorses of Barnwell are traveling to Edisto. Branchville is traveling to Hardyville to play the Hurricanes. And Justin, we just got all the games in yet again.
Yeah.
It's always a no huddle format around here. Any last words before we get to the season or the Gamecock preview show with Jamie and Mad Dog and Phil and all the other ones?
Well, I'll answer Brandon's question. No, we're not related, just the same last name. That's kind of how it works. Roger, you're correct. It's a great night for football. Should be great weather. I pulled down the pullovers from the attic last night. Oh boy, it's on. It's happening right now. There are big games across state. I love Ware Shoals being undefeated as well. I think that's great for high school football. And y'all are right. Strom Thurmond is a legitimate threat in the playoffs. Should be a fun night of high school football action. A lot of great games, great weather, Halloween candy galore. Let's go have a night. Enjoy high school football. Enjoy the college football weekend. Make sure to visit the Chief Sports shop. I've already placed an order for a white pullover, so just understand that quarter zip's coming home with me. That white quarter zip is mine, so just be aware that that's happening. Appreciate everyone. Thanks, Meredith, for hopping in. Meredith Taylor watching along with us. We appreciate her as always. Enjoy the Gamecock preview show. For Steve Hall, I am Justin Hall. We'll see y'all next week for the final regular season edition of Four Quarter Friday on the Chief Sports Network.
From the Low Country to the Upstate, from the Midlands to the PD, we've got you covered. This is our state. South Carolina matters to us. all of South Carolina. We love talking ball, and we love talking ball with you. Thank you for tuning in to the 4-Quarter Friday High School Show. Every Friday at 9 a.m. on the Chief Sports Network. Now, back to Justin and Steve.